Hey everybody, it's Majestic Comics here, and I wanted to go through something I got an email about here recently. It's CMON Comics, Volume 1. Now, CMON, or CMON, as they now are called, CMON Games, they do a lot of board games that are funded through Kickstarter. They're a pretty successful company. They have hit some dire financial straits, according to the rumor mill on the internet as of late, but they've just released this campaign where they're expanding more into comic books. And I'm not sure if they've put out any comic books with their games before. I know some companies have. I'm not sure about CMON, but now they most definitely have, because they've got three around 130-page graphic novels for sale on Kickstarter now. We're on day 3, I think, or maybe not. Maybe we're on day 4, and they've made over $200,000, so pretty successful here. And I'm just going to scroll down, and we're going to look at this campaign, and I'll tell you what I think about it. What do I like, and what do I dislike? So you see, there's the graphic novels, and there are minis, and this is kind of applying it to their wheelhouse, their miniatures board game company. And so if you buy a graphic novel, you get miniatures with the graphic novel, which I think is probably a pretty clever idea, because a lot of people may not be interested in buying a graphic novel. They will be interested in buying a graphic novel and getting a bunch of minis. So they have a quick little blurb here explaining it, and I'm going to say I like what I see already is like a lot of integration of graphics, and we'll scroll down here and you'll see more. But this is something a lot of Comicsgate projects can probably use some awareness of, right? Study this a little bit, like good integration of graphics, provide a visual appeal to somebody who's showing up on your page, and they have a few paragraphs describing it, and if you read this, you'll notice it's all copy. This is all ad speak. It's not a lot of, I'm a hard luck case who's read comics for 10,000 years. Please buy my comic, right? It's trying to sell you. It's making a hard sale. It's making a hard sale. So you come down here. This is good graphics, good use of headers, and they kind of break down each of the 3 graphic novels. We've got Zombicide, which is a cartoony The Walking Dead, basically. And I read the sample. They do have a sample. This one was 30-page sample. So pretty nice showing off of what they've got. Very breezy story, but still pretty cool. And it's a 128-page graphic novel here. And
I like this!
I like that. Yes, that's good. I think Comicsgate is getting into a little bit of a problem with these 40 and 60 page graphic novels. That's not a lot of space to tell a story. And if you listen to me for very long, you're going to hear me talk a lot about storytelling and how it works and how comics sucks at it. And one thing I bring up again and again, you've got to have sufficient space to tell a story. And you need to get your full story arcs into your graphic novel, or it's just, people grade a lot of these things on a curve, but they still notice that it's not that good. And I see a lot of Comicsgate creators, they want to tell stories that are bigger than 40, 68 pages, right? They want to tell stories that are 128 pages long. They want to tell stories that are 200 pages long. And they're cramming them in to much more confined space, and it's suffering for that. So I really like just, hey, here's a full graphic novel. It's 128 pages. And then there's Cthulhu Death May Die, which is Lovecraft, but cartoony. Probably more a genre that's in my interest. More to my interests, as they say. I haven't read the sample yet. I'll probably check that out later. And then Zombicide Invader, which reminds me of like Doom, and then combined with Zombicide. So it's like alien zombies. So, whatever. And then they have 3 pledge levels, so you can save some money by buying more, which is always good. You want to upsell people. You basically save $15, $5 a graphic novel if you get all 3. And then down here, the real selling point, the meat and potatoes of this campaign, is that here are the miniatures, and every day they're unlocking an additional miniature or game component for each of these graphic novels. Each graphic novel ties into a game, of course. So after 10 days, you'll have unlocked 10 new components for your game, and obviously for miniature collectors, even if they're not that into graphic novels, they are into miniatures. So the only way to get these minis is to buy the graphic novel, which I'm okay with that because, you know, hey, maybe it turns out you like graphic novels and you go out and you buy more, right? That's good. That's a good thing. And so a little cross genre promotion here, which I very much like. And again, great use of graphics, great use of photographs and art. It's not a wall of text. They're telling you a lot in these big, chunky, graphical elements, which is just the way to do it. And I will say they have a video up here, which I watched, and it was fine. They're pretty slick when it comes to making videos. These board game producers, they've been doing them for a while. They've done multiple $1 million campaigns, right? So they're pretty good. They're pretty good, and I would suggest watching some of them if you want to know how to make, or at least get some ideas for how to make videos. Some of them include, you know, like animation, like digital animation and stuff, which you're probably not going to pay to do for your graphic novel, but you don't need it. You don't need to. And then they show the team making all these things. One thing you might notice from the names and then bios of all of these people is that almost every last one of them is Italian, which is a great resource for anybody producing comics on the cheap, or Italian creators, these hard-working Italian creators who will make you a comic for half or maybe even a third of the price of an American creator. So that's going to be why, if you're wondering, how do they make 330-page graphic novels, you know, how do they take that? Well, here you go. It's not far off from making 340-page graphic novels in America. So that's why they're doing that. So yeah, overall I like this, and shipping costs are really high because it's CMON or CMON, and that sucks. But other than that, overall I like this. I like this approach. I don't know if they'll keep this up. Again, comics, is it a burgeoning industry? Not really. But I like this campaign. I like what they're doing. And if you're interested, feel free to check them out. Obviously, if you play the games, you probably already know about it and may want to get those miniatures. But if not, check it out anyway. All right. I will talk to you again very soon.